So we are going live right now on YouTube, and I'm really glad that you are all here. I'm extremely glad for today. And I know some of you are messaging me here and there. Is top tier not gonna hold any webinar? And I was telling you guys, please give me some time because I just don't bring just anyone to talk to you. I need to bring someone who has the experience, someone who can influence your decision, someone who can add value to your life, someone who can add value and knowledge to your study abroad process, not someone who just got spoon fed and just got brought here, someone who physically got through everything. So we've hit our mark, we've hit 100 mark. So we are going live right now so that we can start. So without much ado, um, I would like to first, I will not introduce him, but I'll let him introduce himself, or he's gonna go ahead and introduce himself. Uh, he is Mr. Hilary Poku. Um, he's my friend's big brother. He's been in the U.S. for a while now. He's did his master's degree, two master's degrees here from two different universities, a historically black college and a predominantly white institution. So he's seen it all. If you want to go to a black school, he's seen it all. If you want to go to a white school, he's seen it all. He's experienced both sides. In the U.S., there is something called a historically black college, and there's the predominantly white college as well. So just so you know.
We have is no.
So please, as I said, if you've not been invited to talk, please mute yourself. For us, if you've not been invited to talk, please mute yourself. So without much ado, I'll call upon my boss, Mr. Hilary Poku, to introduce himself, and then we can start with the interview questions. Also, in the chat box, please start getting your questions ready. I know a lot of you had questions for me. Okay, glad. I've seen that some questions are already here for you. Please unmute yourself, Mr. Hilary, and then introduce yourself, your educational background, where you went to high school, university, where you came from, and where you're currently at. Thank you. You are muted, please.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Please go on.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bachi. My name is Hilary Poku, and I'm from Ghana, and I've been in the US for almost 8 years now. And I came up here firstly for a graduate program in agribusiness in an HBUC, historically black college in the North Carolina A&T State University. And I also had my second master's in Texas Tech, which is a predominantly white university. And so like I've had a taste of both the HBUC and the predominantly white institutions. I know all what it is. I grew up in Ghana. I had my high school education in OKS, that is School in Kumasi. And I'm also an alumnus from UCC, University of Cape Coast, where I had my bachelor's in agriculture, bachelor's degrees in agriculture, degree in agriculture. Then afterwards, I was also posted to teach in a high school, one of the high schools in Kumasi, that is Eduma Senior High School. That is 2004, after I graduated from the UCC, until December 2013, when I got admission into the States over here to do the master's program in North Carolina at A&T State University. And I started the program in spring 2014. And I graduated in May 2016. And I did some OPT job work with Walmart for about a year. And I stayed not working for a year before I got another admission into Texas Tech to come and pursue the MBA program. And I just graduated from the program just last May 14th, 2021. So that's a little bit I can say about my background. If you have any questions, then you can ask me.
Congratulations on your graduation, and
thank you.
We are really proud of your achievements, and it's not easy getting to master's degree here. A lot of pressure from homework and group projects and presentations. It's a lot. You put a lot of work in. So we are all happy and excited for you. Again, please get your questions coming so that we can ask Mr. Hillary. So, Mr. Hillary, the next question is, how was your experience at the HBCU? Someone wants to know, was it fun? How was the experience?
Yeah, thank you. With the HBCU college, that is the historically Black colleges, there is a bit of flexibility in terms of the academics, unlike the predominantly white institutions, in terms of the time duration that they allowed for exams writing. Then also, I mean, because it's an HBCU school institution, there are a lot of Blacks and also a lot of international students who are coming from, Africa, especially Ghana and Nigerian students in Zimbabwe. And so we have so many African platforms, where, they're able to reach out to students who will be getting enrollment into such institutions. They help them out with their, academic work, arranging for accommodation and all of that. And so I was fortunate to be a beneficiary of such an arrangement from such institutions. And so I remember when I got the admission in 2014, in fact, I had my admission I was supposed to have enrolled in fall 2013, but my visa delayed. And so I had to defer to the spring 2014. And at least I was able to, that gave me the ample time to contact, my colleague students who were at the time at the school, regarding how best they can help me to arrange for accommodation and also look out for assistantship and all of that with some of the professors for me before even I got to the school. And so I recall I was able to get in touch with 2 Ghanaians at the time. That is after I deferred my enrollment to fall instead of the fall to spring 2014 instead of the fall 2013. And so they were able to arrange for accommodation for me. They were even able to contact some of the Ghanaian professors. Even in that, unfortunately, there were some Ghanaian professors over there, the very department that I was admitted to take the program. And so I was able to reach out to some of these professors to arrange for assistantship. And so by the time I got to the school, that is in 2014, January, I already had my assistantship. One of the Ghanaian professors in the department where I was enrolled was ready to work with me as my academic supervisor. Unfortunately, he was more into research. He had a pile of U.S.A projects that, he was always assigning his students to working on. So he was in a rush to just enroll me and then, assign me some of those project work to be working for him. So as I got there, everything was already arranged. And so I had it smoothly. And I remember even before I had my plane ticket and, I booked a ticket for this of this flight, Air Maroc in Ghana. With one of those travel and tour agencies. And so I asked the one who was working on that for me to look out for a cheaper flight ticket. And he finally settled on this Air Maroc. At the time, it was very cheap. I think I had it for about $800. And so after I booked the tickets, then on the 31st of December 2013 at 5:45 a.m. was the takeoff flight. Was the takeoff time for the flight. And so we took off from Kosoka Airport to Morocco, and we spent about 4 hours over there at the hallway until we changed the flight to another flight. And then we proceeded our journey from Morocco. We flew over the Atlantic Ocean straight to New York JFK Airport at 8 p.m. That was the 31st night. And, coming from Africa, Ghana to be precise, which is a very has a very warm temperature. and then finding myself in a different environment where at the time it was at the peak of the winter in New York. It was just terrible for me. And but fortunately at the time I had a friend, also a college teacher, who was also from Aduma Senior High School, who had already been there in New York. I was able to arrange with him to, he agreed to host me for about 1 week in New York Bronx before I proceeded to my final destination, which is North Carolina, Greensboro, where my school was. And so I spent 1 week in New York. And then after the 1 week, I boarded one of those Greyhound bus from New York. And we drove all through New Jersey, Maryland, a little bit of, I think, Virginia. Then we got to North Carolina and then Greensboro. So by the time I got to the bus station, those Ghanaian friends who were at the school that I was able to make the arrangements with them regarding accommodation, they came to pick me up from the bus station to their apartment. And I spent about 5 days in the apartment whilst they were still working on my apartment with that apartment complex. And so after 5 days, then my apartment was made ready. So I had to move into my apartment. And then, I just continued from there. And, there were so much of inconveniences, psychologically, you'll be unstable when you travel all the way from your home country to a new environment. You'll be psychologically unstable for a while before you'll be able to adjust. And even at the time, it was in the peak of the winter, the cold, which I was struggling with the weather. And so I remember my supervisor used to just tease me. Sometimes, I could sleep, I could oversleep, and then come to the office at late because the cold. I was just enjoying my sleep in the cold. And so sometimes by the time I realized, then I'll be late and I have to, get up, rush up, and then, rush to the office before I attend my classes. But with time, I was able to adjust, and then everything normalized, and, I was able to, do things according to the norms.
Nice. So a lot of people also want to know, you've got in the school right now, everything is set for you. Before you even get to the school, most of the people on this platform today, we want to really break it down for them to understand. They want to know the experience before we even go to the questions that were asked during the visa interview. How did you prepare yourself conditionally? Because some people get there, they get nervous. Even the visa officers always say that when they do live webinars to encourage students who are applying for visa interview, what they should do. People get there, they get nervous, they even forget what they've learned or learned. What are some of the things that you think students should prepare themselves for? Because a lot of people on this platform are getting ready for the visa interview. What advice would you give before we get to the interview question? What advice would you first give to these students?
Yeah, thank you. My little advice I want to give to those who are preparing for the visa interview is that there are certain things that I have to know. Especially, for the interview, the most likely questions that they ask on the interview are, predominantly centered on the information, your documents, the information that you have already provided in the document that you have submitted for the interview. First, the information on the I-20, then other information on your financial statements, and other information about your family ties and economic ties. And I think basically these are the areas that they ask the questions around. And I just want to give you this hint. In fact, for the program that you have applied for which you have been admitted to come over here to pursue that program, you should be able to have an in-depth knowledge about that program. They will ask you a lot of questions about that to test your in-depth knowledge about it, whether you really know the program that you are coming to pursue over here. They will ask you detailed questions about that to know your knowledge about the very program that you are coming to, to pursue over here. Then also they will ask you about your plans after completion of the program. What do you want to do, intend to do with the program after completion? And then also They also ask you some questions about the number of schools that you apply for in US. These are some of the questions. They are some of the most likely questions. They want you to, list a number of schools, give them a litany of schools that you applied before you finally settled on the one that you've gotten an admission on, for which you are coming for the interview, at least. And if you're able to do that, and even if you have I-20s for those schools, to be to your advantage, to be able to, show to them, to show proof of what, to show proof of your statement. So that one too, you have to look out for more schools to, to give them. Then also they will look into your economic ties and family ties. Firstly, your family economic ties. At least you should be able to have something to show to them in terms of your economic lives. Like, you should be able to show something like you have either a personal business, a private business that you are running over in your home country, or like you have a dozen projects of which you are working on, and because of the school, you have to abandon it for a while and come and pursue the program and finish before you go back to your home country to continue. At least you have to give them the sense that like at least you have some economic ties back home. That's like that will always make you decide to come back home without necessarily deciding to stay in the US. At least you have to be a bit smart and crafty also to convince them, because the bottom line is they just don't want to see a situation where they will find you, or they'll get a sense that your intention is just to come over to the US for greener pastures. The program, the school program is just like a pretext to find a way into the for greener pastures. That is what they hate to get that. They hate to get that sense. If they get that sense, they will deny you of the visa. So like you have to be smart and make sure that for everything that you say regarding your economic ties, your family ties, even plans, official plans after completion of the school, at least make it to let them get a sense that after completion of the program, you have the plans to come back home, because you have other businesses back home that you are running, that you have to you want to come back to continue running them, but you are just temporarily abandoning those businesses that you have back home for the sake of the school, and after completion of the program, you have the intentions to come back home to continue with the business. At least you have to give them that sense. If they get that sense, then I think it's be good to go. They will not hesitate to give you the visa. Yeah.
Okay. That is good. That is good. Before they go for the interview, I know you've already given them some of these what they need to look out for in terms of getting prepared. These are the questions. In terms of confidence wise, when they get to the interview room, what should they look out for? How should they organize themselves? Because some of them are undergrads. This might be their first time being exposed to these people. They will brutalize you. Sometimes even say good morning. I remember when I went for my interview, I said good morning. The person did not respond. This week, one of my friends sent me one student's transcript that I talked to the person before the interview. The student said the same thing, said good morning. They did not respond. How do you build your confidence? Although they're trying to intimidate, and sometimes not all of them. Some of them might intimidate you, but some of them can be very friendly. Like mine, he said, when I said good morning, he did not respond, but he was so nice throughout the interview, and he was like, "Are you okay?" He was just laughing at the way I was answering the questions, and I made one mistake, and he started laughing. So, what advice would you give? Not for me to go on and on with my experiences, but what would you say to students who are going in for the first time?
Yeah. What I have for the first time is that like you should try to be yourself, and you must do well to prepare adequately. If I talk of preparation, I mean, like I've already given you the hints or the clue as to how you should go about answering some of the or as to some of the questions that you should be expecting that you'll be asked from the consulates. All the information that you have in your documents regarding your I-20, the program that you are going to do, your financial statements, your economic ties, and your income. They will even ask you about your income level if you are working and all of that. But with the graduate students, if you're an undergrad, they will also dwell very much on your financial statement because they know you will be under sponsorship, either your parents or like a company or some, somebody of a very high financial standing will be supporting your education for you. So like they will dwell more into it. They will ask more questions to, get more information about it to satisfy them. And so it's like you have to first prepare before you get to the place. Like I've already given you the clue. Make sure you know about your program, in-depth knowledge about your program, even your financial statements. If you're an undergrad, at least if your parents are the ones who are sponsoring you for your education, at least you should be able to tell them about the kind of work that they do, how much they earn, and all of that. Because though I know they will provide some documents regarding their levels of income and their source of income, but at least if they happen to ask you any question on that, you should be in a position to at least also, brief them or ask them. Because I know if it's your parents, if they are your parents who are sponsoring you, you should be able to know the kind of work they do. At least you should know how much they earn and all of that. Though they might provide that by way of providing some financial statement or like pay stubs or other things on documents. But you also have to, if in case they ask you something about that, you should be able to, add something to it because you should be in a position to know something about the source of income of your parents, how much they earn, and all of that to add to the information that they will provide by way of documents. That aside, you yourself, you also have to be able to express yourself as to your future ambitions regarding the reason why you want to pursue the program in the United States, that very program. You should be able to tell them something, to let them know that you have an ambition, a real ambition. It should be something you should tell them something that they think will be achievable, not something that they might have the sense that like you're trying to, con them or like trying to mislead them to, make them get a sense that you are Superman or something, or you are over ambitious. No, I mean, tell them things that are, that are measurable, that are achievable, that are reasonable, that appears to be, like achievable. It's measurable. You can achieve it. It's real. You have to be real. Be yourself. And then also you should also be able to be very fluent in the language, because if you are very fluent in the language, it also impresses them. Because sometimes too, they are also mindful of the language barrier between, those of us coming from Africa to the United States. Just like we know of some of the schools that even before they offer you the admission, they may insist that you write TOEFL and all of that, just because of what the language proficiency. Some schools might even demand, as part of their requirements, to demand your school, your university, where you are coming from, to issue a statement of like a document to show proof that you have the proficiency in the English language. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are some of the schools too that they might go extra mile to insist that you write a TOEFL exams with a very high score as part of the requirements. This is all because of the language proficiency. And so at the interview, if the consulates are also able to get a sense that you are very proficient in the language, that also adds to your advantage. Yes, that is also one of the major things that they look out for. If you're able to flow and you speak very good English, it impresses them a lot. Yeah, it impresses them a lot. So that's also one thing that you have to look out for. Then also, if you're an undergrad, they will not look much. I think they won't ask you any question about your family ties or economic ties, because you're underage. You are even being sponsored by your parents. But for the graduate level, you are a mature person. Most time the graduate students are mature. Most of them are married. Most of them are being serious business back home before they even want to come over to the States for their program. And so like they will ask more about your economic ties and your family ties to know whether to know about your intentions, whether you may come back or not. That is also one of the outcomes. Yeah. So you have to be very mindful of that. But for the undergrads, I think the questions will be mostly dwelt on, your academic and your aspirations, your ambitions after completion of the school. Because some might even end up doing their masters after the first degree, might end up doing their masters. So like, we can talk along those lines that after school, after the first degree, you might want to do your masters in these areas. And when you look up some of these questions, that will give them more, room to ask, to delve more into even your master's program that you may want to do after the first degree. And what are your plans for that? If you're able to, express yourself vividly along such lines, it convinces them a lot to just be in a hurry, a rush to just give you the visa. These are some of the tricks, and if you're able to get it, I mean, you'll be fine. Let me give you my personal experience at the interview before I came over here. For the first time, I failed. I was denied the visa because I didn't prepare. That was my first experience. And, like I thought once I had the I-20 and other things, there were some of the questions that I answered. I didn't know that I even answered them wrong. So I was denied the visa for the first time. And so when I was getting out from the premises at a point of exit, then I met one Ghanaian security. He was the only Ghanaian security. All the rest of the security people they were all whites. So he was the only Ghanaian security at the exit points. And so I just coincidentally, we had an eye contact, and the way he was smiling at me, I just approached him with that, straight face. And he asked me about what happened, and I said I was denied. And then he just he had a look at my I-20, and said, and he then turned to encourage me that no, you should be able to get it, because with this, I don't see why. Then he also looked at my transcripts. You have a good GPA. You should be able to get it. What happened? You know what? You can reapply in the next 2 weeks. If you wouldn't mind, just reapply for it. And then, get somebody to, coach you, to rehearse you through some of the likely questions that they can ask. I think with that, when you come for the second time, you should be able to do better. So it was there that I even got to know about reapplication. I thought like once you are denied for the first time, that's the end of it all.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
So after 2-3 weeks, then at the time, I don't know whether they still have the same system. For the visa fee, we used to pay it at EcoBank.
EcoBank.
Now
it's GT Bank.
Oh, okay. It used to be EcoBank, so you have to pay from the money cash. EcoBank, then they will give you the receipts. So you add it to your documents during the interview schedule, you present it. So I thought of it, and I hurriedly, at the time to my I-20 at the time was supposed to expire, I was supposed to report to school latest by 15th of August 2013 at the time. That was what had been indicated on the I-20. And I had the first visa interview on the 24th of July. So at least I had some time. But within 3 weeks, then I was scheduled for another interview for the second time. And fortunately for me, for the first one, I didn't do my medicals. My school also was, as part of their document requirements, they're requiring us to get our medicals back from our home country to the school, so that when we get in there, there'll be no need for any, vaccination shots and other things. So before the second interview, then I thought it's wise to, get to any of those hospitals to do the medicals. And so somebody directed me to this place, Menchia Hospital.
Yeah.
I go to Menchia Hospital. And fortunately, the doctor who was assigned to work on my medicals, Dr. Asante, was a very outgoing type. I mean, the first day he saw me, we just established a relationship. That very day, he was on consultation. He asked me to wait, if I could wait. I went there in the afternoon, he asked me to wait if I could wait until 5 p.m. after he's done with all his patients. Then he will just, go and eat somewhere. And then he will just take me to his place to sit me down and go through my documents and then prepare the possible questions that can be asked from my documents at the interview. Then he will rehearse with me. It can take about 2 days, and he'll finish everything out. Should be fine. I said, no problem. So I waited until he was done with all his patients at the time. The time he was through with them, it was around 6 p.m. And he came out, he took me to some fufu chop bar around this place, Konfanochi, behind the Konfanochi Hospital. Went to eat. Then he drove me straight to his place at used to live at Nyanchen Nancy thereabouts. Went there. Then he sat me down, got all my documents, just looked through my I-20, looked through my financial statements and other documents, and he started asking me some of the questions like my economic ties, my family ties, and all of that. Then he just, jotted down some questions, a list of questions. He asked me, when he reads out the question to me, then he will tell me how I should answer the question. This is how you should. When you ask this question, this is how you should answer it. When you ask this question, this is how you should answer it. When you ask this question, this is how you should answer it. Make sure for this program that you're going to do in the school, you read a lot about the program because they will ask you to know about your in-depth knowledge about the program. If you mess up, that will be it. So make sure as you leave here, you go and read about the whole program that you're going to do, the benefits, how it's even going to benefit your home country when you come back, how you're going to use the knowledge that you have acquired from that program after completion to come and help build the economy of your country. You should be able to read something along those lines because they will ask you. So like he went through with me the first day, those questions that he set out for me. And then he asked me to come over the next day again, for him to just test on me whether I've been able to, rehearse and memorize the questions and the answers, the precise answers to those questions and all of that. Mm-hmm. So I did that. In fact, I left there very late. Then the next day, he asked me to come over there around 7 at his residence. So at 7, I was there. And by the time I came, he was there. And so he started asking me some of the questions that he, listed them down and trying to, solicit the answers, the responses, whether I would be precise on what he told me and all of that. And I was able to do that. Then he also, briefed me about certain things, about how I should comport myself, how I should relax. It's like, the consulates over there, they have come to know much about we, especially the Ghanaians or we the Africans when it comes to, attending interviews over there. So like they play some psychological games with us. And so we also have to, be able to, live up to that and be able to play the games with them. So you have to relax. And there was one funny thing during the second interview. Let me just share with my viewers. They will just laugh it. They will laugh it off with this. This scenario was just funny. During the first interview, the lady, the consular who denied me of the visa was a female. And I was able to, I took notice of her very well. So when I went for the second interview, it was a long queue. The queue even extended to outside. So like gradually we got inside, and at the point I was on the 5th on the line. Then I spotted this same woman who denied me of the visa. At the time, during the first interview, there were 3 consulates in their boxes. But during the second interview, it was only left with just 2 consulates. And this lady who denied me of the visa was one of the consulates, and there was one other new one. So I decided to just make sure I end up going to that other consular over there. So I was just doing some more calculations. Initially, I was 5th on the line. Then the one who was at first at the time, whilst I was 5th, got to the lady. And the one who was the next got to the other one. Then I became 3rd on the line. Then another one got to the lady. And I was watching them closely. All those that were going to the lady were being denied, because when you are denied, it doesn't take a long time. It's not that 5 minutes, then they will just do away, finish with them. And you can see from their faces that when you see it from their uncheerful faces, you definitely get a sense that they have been denied. So I was trying to avoid this lady. So when I got to the second position, at the time, the 2 consulates were all engaged with, applicants that they were interviewing them. Then something struck me to just get off the line, go to the back, pretend as if like I'm looking out for something in my bag or something, just to see if the guy, those in front of me will get to the woman before I come and take that first position to be able to get to the new consular that I was trying to get to. So I left my line, and it was left with, I was the second person to be called. So when I left, then the one that was just before me was at first. Then the one that was after me became second. So whilst I went to the back, I was still, monitoring. Then I saw the one that was before me going to the lady that I was trying to avoid. Then the one that was after me came first. I was still at the back. I didn't want to join the line. So I was still monitoring. Then immediately, the one that was before me, as he got to the lady that I was trying to avoid, when he got to the lady, within 3 minutes, he was just, the lady finished up with him and, just got rid of him. And the one that was before me, he was then at the first position. He then got to the lady. So I quickly came to join the line. So I was the first person waiting for the one that I was trying to go. And immediately I joined the line. Then the one that was trying to go had finished with the one that he was interviewing. So there was a vacancy. And I just dashed there, the new person. And, as if that day I could see that like God's favor was just on me. Exactly the same questions that the doctor rehearsed me through were the exact questions that they asked me. So I was just flowing like that. I was just flowing the answers to the questions like that. So like it took me 45 minutes at the counter. At the time, that other lady was just bouncing the applicants within 5 minutes. So like the 45 minutes that I spent with the other consular, about 5 people bypassed me to the lady, and they were all denied. Wow. This guy will ask me questions, and I was, the way I was flowing, even going extra mile to add more, to say so many things. Then you just give a pause, get to the lady, the other consular, to have some discussions with her. Then I just saw them doing this way. Then you come back, ask me the question. He got to her back and forth 3 times. 45 minutes. I was just checking my time. 45 minutes. And then finally he said, like when you are beginning, they will just get your passport. So they just got my passport, and then they wrote on the cheek, like this white, a yellow sticker, the time I should come for the visa. In fact, I didn't know the first time. They wrote M330. So I didn't know what it is. I just push it under, slided it under the counter. Then I picked it, and it said next person. So I didn't know what, because I thought that was the first time. I thought like the visa is given there and then, immediately after the interview. I didn't know. Not knowing that you have to go by the time that is indicated on the sticker. Yeah. So I was just there. Then I heard him saying next person. So I got off from the counter, and I was just walking slowly outside. Then I met that same security guy that I met for the first time after the first interview denial. Then I just went straight to him and I showed him the sticker with the time indicated. And I said, "What is this?" He said, "No, you'll be given the visa." I said, "Really?" "Yes." They said you should come on Monday. And I had the interview too on Wednesday. It was Wednesday. So it was 3 days. That is 3 working days. So Thursday, Friday, and then the Monday, 3:30. So the M means Monday at 3:30. Come for your visa. Are you not happy? I said, "Really?" So I told you to reapply. The first time you came behind, I mean, you were desperate. You threw up your hands in the air, thinking that was the end of it all. But as I encourage you to reapply, now you got it. So now you've got it. Monday at 3:30, you have to be here. Come on time. You can come around 12, 1, thereabout for your visa. Then you're good to go. So that was how I ended up getting my visa. And
is it from here or is it from here? Okay, I'm admitting him. He's coming back. Okay, thanks, Victor. He's coming back, so please hold on. Mr. Hillary, are you here? Mr. Hillary. All right, guys. Whilst we wait for Mr. Hillary to join or rejoin, I think he spoke a lot about the interviewing process, and that is one thing that I really want you guys to have a deeper understanding, and that all the questions will be answered as well, especially our YouTube people joining us all the way on YouTube, and you guys on here on Zoom too. We'll be answering all your questions. So please make sure that you keep your questions coming. As soon as he gets back and finish up the interviewing process, the next step is for us to talk about um, um, it's answer your questions. So I'll be throwing all your questions at him, and then we also call people to ask questions as well. We know some of you are also joining as you are undergrads. He's talked a lot about the undergraduate process, that most of the undergrads is going to be focusing most of your who is sponsoring you, your parents, your family ties, and all that. Knowing more about the program, it's also very imperative. So as an undergrad, they understand you don't have any job here and all that, but it's really imperative for them to understand that, okay, you don't have a job, but the most important thing is, how are you going to pay? Who is paying for your tuition and all that? You really need to have that understanding as to how do you pay for your tuition. So make sure you have that in mind, that you are thinking about, okay, after school, then what? That is very, very important. After school, then what? What am I going to do after school? What are your post-graduation plans? So you need to also think about that as well, that, okay, when I'm done with school, this is what I want to do. Do you have that at the back of your mind? That is why it's really imperative to use a consult like Top Tier Study Abroad Consult, that knows people who have been through the process, that knows people who can coach. We can coach you, because we've been there. I've been there myself. My group or our team, they are really experienced in terms of the interview questions. That's why I'm highly encouraging you that if you are looking at studying abroad, talk to us. If you are looking at going for your interviews, talk to us. We are here so that we can also talk to you. I know some of you are talking about the interview dates not available at the moment. Uh, what we are doing is the U.S. Embassy released a statement that we should continue watching the page. They would release new interview dates, so you should keep watching the page. That is what was stated. So we are working hand in hand, making sure that we get the right information for you. Number two, I know some of you are also thinking of, when I get here, jobs and all that. We are here for you. We also help our clients when they get here. Every student visa comes with a work permit. Every US visa comes with a work permit. You can go to school whilst you work on campus. I think those of you who have been following us for a long time knows this. I know I'm getting this question over and over. So it is imperative for me to also address this ASAP, that in as much as we are all trying to get student visas, it's also very important to note that there is a possibility of working on campus. That is also something that you can do. I've just admitted Mr. Hillary, so we can continue with the story. It is highly important for you to know that one key thing about the interview, just coming back to the interview, you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared. What are some of the possible questions? So when you work with us as Top Tier Study Abroad Consult, we give you a lot of interviews. We've collected several transcripts from the interview, students who are admitted, who got a visa, students who did not get a visa. What did they do right? What did they do wrong? So that we can also coach you. We can do that, but the one important thing that you also need to do is to build your confidence, okay? Build your confidence. That is very important, that if you do not build your confidence, you go there and start fumbling. But if you have the confidence, if you have the zeal, the will to articulate yourself, when you are not prepared, that's when you start shaking. But when you are very well prepared, you know what to say, trust me, you will move mountains. Also, in terms of what do you need to prepare for the, know about your programs. If it's an MBA, read about the MBA. Go to the university's website, read about some of the courses that are there, know about the curriculum. For example, when I went there, they asked me about it, my course of my chosen program. I was able to explain it into details, what the program is about. Some of the faculty members, they asked me if I know a faculty member in the department. I mentioned the faculty members' name. Funny enough, I knew only, and I've memorized a lot of them, but when I went there, I remembered only one, Professor Yao Mensah, because he was a Ghanaian and his name stuck with me. So as soon as I was asked the question, it just came out of my mouth, Professor Yao Mensah. And then he was nodding his head, but nothing came again. But luckily for me, when he asked me a question about the program, what is the program about? I broke the program down, talk about some of the courses that I would like to even take that will help me in terms of coming back to work in Ghana. So please, you need to know all these things. Either than that, you go there fumbling. Also, some people are asking about undergraduate and graduate education. Hillary, when he joins, he's gotten an email that the internet connection at his house, the internet providers have sent him a message that they are working on it. He's going to join with his phone and bypass the Wi-Fi. It is important that you work in terms of, when you work with us as an undergrad, we try to get you scholarships. If you've written the SAT, you have a very good score, we're looking at full scholarship. If you're an undergrad, if you're a graduate student, you have research experience, you have teaching experience, you have administrative experience, we can look at how do we help you in terms of assistantship. These are very critical. When you have an assistantship and you go for the visa interview, mind you, they start, oh, okay, when they pick your I-20, oh, so you have an assistantship. Because when you go, the first question will be, can I have all your documents? Sometimes they will say, can I have, either they request for all your documents or they request for your passport and your I-20. Later on, they will request for other documents like your passport, your statement, or any other supporting document that you brought for the interview. They will ask for it. So it is very important you take key notes of where you are even keeping all your documents. It is very important. Know about the program, know about who is paying for your tuition, know about your post-graduation plan, know about in detail what do you want to do when you graduate. What is the program about? What are you going to do with that degree? Know about the U.S. education system. These are key. What is even the purpose of your travel to the U.S.? These are key important questions that I want you guys that are going for the visa interview this week, next week Thursday, next week's Thursday, those who are going on the 5th of August, those of you who are going next week, which is on the 22nd of July, those of you are going on the 29th of July, those who are going on the 5th of July, please note that you really, and on the 12th, 19th, and 26th, mostly right now it's either Thursdays or Mondays that people are going for the visa interview. So please pay attention to all the nitty-gritties, the granular details. You need to come to very prepared. And that is what we at Top Tier Study Abroad Consult, we do best. Those of you who have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have videos on how to prepare for the visa interview over there. So Mr. Hillary, I see that you are back. Please, can you continue with your story, and then please start answering students' questions. Mr. Hillary, I see you here. Okay, so whilst Mr. Hillary is trying to join us, having a technical hitch, I'll go ahead and answer some of the questions. Does the UK also come with a work permit? Yes. If you go to the UK, you can work and go to school in the UK. You get work permit as well. Okay. Someone raised his or her hand. So, doctor, can one report late to the school? Yes, you need a letter of support from the university. So there are two things. There's an add and also the drop. So remember back in those of you who are going for a master's degree, they call it the add and drop deadlines. When you can add a course to what you're doing and you can drop a course. So when you drop your course, that is the deadline for that. After the add and drop, you cannot come to the US. So the university will definitely give you a letter of support so that you can go for the interview when you are still within the range of the add and drop. Some of the universities too say that no, as soon as orientation is over, you cannot come. Some of the universities are flexible on that add and drop. Where our my former institution, State University of New York at Binghamton, we go with the add and drop. After the add and drop, some of the universities will also say, take online classes. If you get an interview in September, please, you can come. In October, you can join. Since you're already taking the class online, you can go in person and finish it off. So those are some of the processes that have been also availed for students to also use that opportunity. I see that Mr. Hillary is also joining. Someone said, please, what if the available date does not correspond to your school start date? That's what I said. You need a letter of support to go for the visa interview. Or what you would do is that you can defer to January and then start school. But mostly, you can go straight in and then apply with a letter of support from the school. Also, our viewers on YouTube are also asking some questions, and I'll also like to also pay attention to those ones and then answer them as well. And please, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. As I said, a lot of information are going to be provided as Mr. Theophilus, Yaira, Kofi, Victor, Annette start traveling, Cornelius and Jenny, the people in our current Kumasi office. They'll be traveling all over the world to interview students who are pursuing degrees in Germany, in China, in India, in Thailand, in the US, the UK, Canada, to learn more about the experiences so we can share on our YouTube channel so you all can also benefit from. So someone asks a question: how can a young graduate prove economic ties? So when I came to the US, I was a young graduate like yourself. You need to talk about national service. Have you already done your national service? If yes, please go with your national service certificate, because when I went in there, they asked me, what have you been doing after you graduated? Because when I was sitting down there, I was listening to those who were being interviewed. And it was very important. One girl who was in front of me that went to the African American man, she couldn't answer the question, what are your post-graduation plans? So she was like, he asked her, the girl was very beautiful, so she thought that was going to get her the visa because the man was very nice to all of us. As I said good morning. He did not respond, but later on, he was very, very nice. Like any country, you always want the best people to come to your country so that they can contribute to your country. Okay. So what happened was that he asked the lady, what have you been doing after school? She said, national service. After national service, what have you been doing? He said, she was standing there smiling. And the guy was like, no, let's be serious here. After your national service, what have you been doing? And she could not answer. So that is when that time I had a brown envelope. I didn't have an idea of getting that folder where I can arrange things. So I quickly rearranged my documents, and then I placed my national service certificate up front. So as soon as he asked me after school, what have you been doing? And then I said, after school, I did my national service. After national service, what have you been doing? And I showed them proof. We can go on and on, but when you are using our services, we can coach you in terms of how to answer all these beautiful questions. If you are not prepared, that becomes an issue. So if you're an undergrad and you do not have, you just finished with your, if you're an undergrad, they will not be asking you all these questions. They will rather ask you, where did you go to your high school? Where did you get your high school diploma or high school qualification from? Who is paying? Know more about the university. Those are some of the things that they'll be pushing you to know more, ascertain more from you. We have 28 minutes to go. Mr. Hillary, are you here? I saw that you were still trying to join with 2 different devices. Are you here? I hope he has not been kicked out because of. All right, so I'll go on. Okay, Emmanuelson, please unmute yourself and ask your question, and then I can try and answer them till.
Okay. Good evening, sir. Please.
Yeah, Emmanuelson, hold on 1 minute. Benny, yes, okay. 45 minutes. I've seen when I went for my interview, one lady was there for an hour. She's been to that time, I think she said she's been to the US 8 or 9 times, and 8 times, her 9 times she was refused. And the visa officer went back and forth with his supervisor before they were like sorry, because they were trying all their possible best to give it to the girl. So yeah. Okay, go on, Emmanuelson. Please go ahead with your question.
Okay, sir. So assuming you're an undergrad and you had a full ride to any of the U.S. colleges, and it's time for you to go for your visa interview. So maybe you went for the interview and they asked about who is going to pay for your tuition. You see, you made a statement with regards to that, and let's say this person, this undergrad had a full ride, full scholarship to any of the US colleges. So it means the school is going to pay on behalf of the undergrad person. And why do the visa interviewers have to ask this question, that who is going to pay your full your tuition and your boarding stuff? So I think that question is more, it will be more ambiguous to any undergrad student going for such interview, and they ask that because he has already gotten a full scholarship, meaning they are going to pay everything, with maybe perhaps he is going to pay only the tickets, the plane tickets or the flights stuffs. Yeah. And
Yeah,
my second
Emmanuel,
question. Okay,
one
sir.
thing that a lot of people forget is that when you get full ride, there are several types of full scholarship. Some of the full scholarship you even have to pay for your own insurance. Mind you, you also have to pay for your rent. If for the undergrad, some of them when they get full ride, it comes with rent, it comes with room on board, and it comes with books. Yes, the school is providing everything for you, but what if you lose your funding? What would you do? These are some of the mistakes you guys make, that you still don't go with bank statements to support yourself. What if you get sick and the insurance that you have cannot cover you? What is your backup plan? Have you thought about that before? That, okay, let me do this. Yes, you can go with that, and then you get refused. It is imperative that you still have a sponsor. You need to think about this. You can have full funding. Some of them doesn't even come with room on board. That means on your I-20, you need to showcase that you can pay for your rent. You can showcase that you can buy food. At least you need to have some form of sponsorship. Even if the university is giving you full funding comes with a clause. Don't forget, you need to maintain a certain GPA. If you do not maintain a certain GPA, you lose your funding. If you lose your funding, who is going to pay? Emmanuel,
Okay, I
am
get.
I making some sense?
Yes, yes, yes. Very, very clear. It's clear to me. And I think my second question you brought in with regards to the financial aid. See, maybe you apply and they ask for your CSS and you showed a CSS profile. That's this your financial statement for international students. So let's say you are going for the interview and they still ask for, I want to know the difference between the bank statement and the CSS be filled, because CSS is also a financial statement that you show them all your economics analysis on the profile, that this is what you have, all your economic information. And the bank statement is also, I think, you made mention of the bank statement, which is another document I think you have to also provide. So I want to get a more clear understanding between the CSS and the bank statement.
In terms of this, so some universities will give you a form to fill. You need to detail how much this one is giving you, how much all of that. You fill those forms, providing all the details in terms of how your education will be funded and how you will be funding yourself, your education, room on board, everything, how much money this person will be giving to you. After you've done that, you need, it's either you attach your bank statement to it, investment certificate to it, that your parents or your sponsor has invested this X amount of money into this business, into this bank, into this institution, that you'll be having access to it, or he or she will be taking, so that you can give, he'll give it back to you. When you go for the interview, you don't need that form that you fill to the university. You need the financial document, for example, your bank statement. For example, a letter from the financial, or document from the financial institution that Mr. Emmanuelson has invested 100,000 US dollars here, and he'll be given to his son Emmanuelson Jr. to pursue a degree in the US. Then you can get that document, and then you need a letter attached to it. Sometimes you don't even need a letter, because sometimes you might even go there, they will not even look at any document. It has happened over and over and over. But Emmanuelson, I'll highly encourage you, talk to me in terms of answering the first question of your sponsorship. If you have full right, how you can go about answering that question. Send me a message after this. Yaira, Kofi, Victor, please,
Okay,
someone
sir.
should put my number there, and I'll talk
Okay.
to Emmanuelson. So Emmanuelson, send me a
Yeah.
text on that number. As soon as I'm done, I'll coach you.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. And my last question is, I will text you, sir.
Emmanuelson, let's give other people the chance to also ask
Okay.
questions.
Okay.
And then
Okay,
for
sir.
you, I've already told you I'll work with you,
All
so
right.
don't worry.
All right. Thank you.
Sophia Alote, please, your hand is up. Go ahead. And then our crew on YouTube. YouTube will be coming.
Okay, good evening and hello to everyone. Thank you very much. My question here is, what if I have someone who is sponsoring, and then moreover, the person is not like a family member, a long distance family member, or let's say a friend is sponsoring. The person is married with family, with kids and all. Like, what if they ask me, how is the person going to take care of it? Because the person has family, kids to take care of, pay fees and all. How is the person going to take care of me or sponsor me? That's my question. And my second question too is, what if I have a business, my own personal business, and I have a little money, like 5,000, 7,000? Can I use that one as my bank statement?
If I have 5,000 in terms of which currency?
5,000 Ghana cedis. Yes, sorry, 5,000 Ghana
oh,
cedis.
5,000 Ghana cedis. It will be less than $1,000. So that one I wouldn't talk about it. But if you have a business, you see, as I said, they want to know that genuinely you have something. What do you have to show to them? Okay, what do you have to show to them? The U.S. Embassy wants to know how credible you are. What will tie you back? So if you have a property or if you have a business, when they ask you of your post-graduation plans, you show them the document that I have a business. I've registered my business ABC. You show them the business. I'm also working in this lab. You show them your document. So in terms of the statement, I'm working with you. You are my client, so I'll go through with you in terms of how to answer that question privately.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Echo Bentun, please go ahead.
Hi, Doug. Good evening and good evening to all your listeners. Okay, so my question here is, mine is in terms of the VO's question on the number of schools that you apply. And I want to know, do they have any ways of verifying the number of schools you apply? Because when you go through all these VO transcripts that you send to us to review, it is very consistent. How many schools did you apply? And then applicants would be mentioning 4, 5 schools. Do the VOs have ways of verifying whether applicants truly apply for these schools? Because I have a peculiar situation here. So that's why I'm asking that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bentum. So no, they don't have a way of verifying. They are asking to see, okay, so Bentum said he's going to school. What research did he do? I think those of you who have worked with me, I've shared a video with you that the counselor, we all happen to be on a panel, and he said, I want to know that you've done your research. So as part of the research, he mentioned, what have you done? What are some of the things that you've done in terms of going to school? What are some of the things you've done in terms of getting to the universities that you want to go to? How many universities did you apply? And he said, you need to come to me prepared to answer these questions. One of the key things that students do when they are selecting for universities, or when we are even working with students, there are criteria that we look out for. So you need to mention those universities that you apply to, as we've already discussed, but there is no way. And then the person has like 3 minutes to spend with you, or 5 minutes to spend with you to determine if you're a credible student. The video that I shared with you, the counselor said within 2 minutes, 30 seconds, he know you are credible or not. Sometimes you might be a credible person, but how to articulate yourself and answer the questions might be the problem. So on our second meeting, we can touch more on that. On our third one-on-one meeting, we can touch more on that. Samson Opoku. And also those of you who are asking me questions privately, that what happened to my white beard, I dyed my beard. So just so you know, I know some of you are asking me questions back door about my beard. I want to look like Mr. Theophilus with black beard.
Hello, good day, Doc.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Okay, good evening to everybody on this platform as well.
Good evening, Samson.
My question is very simple. Yeah. Regarding the financial statement or the bank statement, is it advisable, as let's say you just completed the university after a national service, is it advisable to have the bank statement in your name, or it's advisable to have somebody sponsoring you bank statement to present for the interview? I'm asking this because sometimes I feel, let's say you just got out of from the university and then you want to do your postgraduate. You might not have enough money, but somebody can give you the money to use it as a financier, but it will be in your name. Let's say $30,000 or $40,000. You can get to the embassy and then they will ask you how you were able to get such an amount of money in your account, because for just a year you cannot accumulate such an amount doing just your national service. So is it advisable to have the statement in your name or in your sponsor's name? That is my question, please.
Okay, so like you, Samson, I graduated from Legon and I came here a couple of years ago. So like I did my national service, and after my national service, I came here. I did not have any money to fund myself. So for me, my advice is two. If the person can put the money in your account, fine. But you don't want to go there and then you cannot show proof as it's really a sponsor. So if you have both bank statements showing that he did a transfer into your account, you can present both statements to them. Or you can have your sponsor's bank statement and you can have your statement, and then you present it when you go for the visa interview. That would be my best shot. As I said, for me, I did not have any kind of sponsorship. I just went in with my sponsor's bank statement, which happens to be my brother. And I had to explain it vividly to them that ABCD, this is the person sponsoring me. And then you explain everything vividly to them. So you need to go with a statement in terms of being able to articulate yourself and being able to explain to the visa officer that your sponsor have already given you some money and it is evident in your statement. And then even if you have that, I will advise that you use that to apply for your I-20, so that on the I-20, it will say personal funds, it will say family funds. So your name will be there that, okay, you have this amount of money. Even if you get the money later, you can still send the bank statement to them and ask the university to put it there. When you work with us, we do all that job for you. You just bring the statement and then we send it to the university. So your personal funds will also appear on the I-20. That. And then when you get to the question and they ask you, how do you plan to fund the entire duration of your education? That is where you need to spell all of that out beautifully. And that is where we come in to also explain things to you as top-tier study abroad consults.
All right. I think I'm okay with your explanation.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I will take another. I will go to YouTube and pick one question from there, and then I'll come to Benny. I graduated in 2016. I'm currently employed by the Ghana Education Service as a chemistry teacher. What is the best possible answer to the question, why now? Randy Apia Kubi, why now? Why now, as in, why now are you pursuing your master's? You don't need to have like 10 years to wait or 1 year to wait before you do your master's or you pursue your master's degree. You need to explain to them, for example, when they ask you, why are you going to the university now? You can talk to them as part of my tenure track or as part of the promotion plan at the Ghana Education Service. My dream is to be a principal. My dream is to be a headmaster one day. And as part of that process, you need to have a master's degree. And as such, I am going on that trajectory to pursue that, get that education, and also getting an education from the US would help me to achieve my goal. Number two, I have my own long-term and short-term goal. My long-term goal is one day to have my own private school and to have the needed knowledge to also go through the process of having my own school. I'm pursuing, for example, education administration, which will give me the administrative, how to take care of the administrative purposes of my university. As such, I believe that either my short-term goal, that is getting my degree coming back, and then because I've already worked since 2016, applied to be maybe an assistant headmaster, and then the future goal is to be a headmaster, or my long-term goals, which is to have my own university or my own high school, my own JHS, my own primary school, elementary school. So as such, I need to have the background in school administration or high school administration. As such, I'm getting a degree. And then you mentioned some of the courses that you saw at the university's website that will help you achieve that why. Okay, that why. What are some of the things you can pick from the curriculum? What are some of the courses being done? Even the universities have some testimonials after students have graduated. What are some of the possible things they've been able to do? You go through them, you really read and learn and know more about the university. Let me take the third question from there, and then we can move ahead. Churchill, doctor, please, an individual who completed first semester course online from Ghana, what are the chances of passing? That is, you really stand a higher chance, Churchill. But again, answering that question is really tricky. For example, when they ask you this question, especially when you need to throw in this towel as soon as they ask you the question, why are you going to the US? Or if they don't even ask you this question, you need to make sure you put that, you let them know that you've already completed that semester online. Go with your transcript as well. So when you're asked this question, what is your purpose of travel to the US? You say, I'm traveling to the United States to pursue a bachelor's degree in biochemical science at Churchill University in Memphis, Tennessee. I've already completed my first semester online, and this is my transcript as a proof that I've already done that, and I've got a GPA of 3.95. First of all, you've answered 4 questions in this and added a second important component. And then what do you say? Okay, let me see your transcript. That is when you pass the transcript to them. So please make it a point that you answer that question very well. Doc, please, how do I approach the question? What are your study plans in the US during the visa interview? What are your study plans? So you are going there to pursue, let them know you have 2 years to complete this degree. After that, you're coming back to Ghana. But if you want me to elaborate more, reach out to me backline. Okay. Mr. Hillary is trying to join so that we can finish the webinar. I know we have like 9 more minutes to go. Who else had his hand raised? And I see some people here that I really want to give a shout out to. Jay Emmanuel from Germany, and also going to school in Poland. Thanks for joining. And I really appreciate you all. I really appreciate each and everyone. Justina, Kofi, Godfred. I really appreciate everybody for joining. So let's go back to our questions. David, John, please go ahead before we go to Xavier.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, David.
All right. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And I want to say thank you to all those people online. I want to ask, I'm yet for my interview, but then I have quite a challenge which I need an advice on regarding my funding. I work with an employer, and it's an international company. They are willing to give me a letter to support my funding, that I'm an employer with them, and they are willing to support my tuition and expense. However, they are not willing to give me a bank statement due to some discretionary methods in their policies regarding finances. Okay, and my auntie has also, I spoke to my auntie, who is also willing to support me when it comes to my tuition and my expenses. I want to ask, what would you advise in my case like this?
So on your I-20, what does it state? Who is your sponsor on your I-20?
On my I-20, it was stated family or friend.
So reach out to me backline. We can talk more about that. But what I want to advise you is that go with the company statement. The company, you don't need a statement. It's like when you get government funding, they only need a letter. So when you go to the letter there, when you go for the visa interview, there are two things that might happen. They will either issue you the visa. If they will give you the visa, they will either say granted, or they will tell you they need to do administrative work. Mostly those who go with company letters, they need to do administrative work. So what they will do is that they will keep the letterhead, the email on the letterhead, they will reach out to them, or they will go online, Google the company, reach out to the HR, ask the HR if it's true. If it's true, you get an email that you can pick. They will collect your visa, your passport. For example, I wish one of my clients was here. Judith went through the same thing. As soon as you get back from the interview, quickly go to your HR and say they will say that Hillary sent me a message here. They will say they will send an email to your company. The person, the HR need to respond ASAP. Either than that, it can wait for 3 months. And my client, the person did not respond to the email. After 1 month, they told her to take her passport and book for another interview. We scheduled her for another interview. She went there, and then they told her to go back. And the person again did not respond to the email. They told her to come for the third interview. That is when the person responded to the email. And then that's why she went for the third interview. That's why I'm saying that, yes, you can get it, but company one really, really strong, especially if the company is an international company that is verifiable online.
Okay.
And with this, you need to take your appointment letter, your introductory letter, your work ID. You need to prove beyond that you are truly employed at that company.
Sure. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So please, a follow-up question. So that means that I don't need to take the bank statement for my auntie, right? It's not.
Yeah, I don't think really you need that.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, David, hold on. Somia, I'm trying to, let me add you so that you can join. Okay. Go ahead, David. What were you saying?
I asked a follow-up question that, so it means that there is no need for me to take the bank statement for my auntie.
No, if the company is sponsoring you, don't complicate things, because if you take your auntie statement, you are confusing them. That means is your company funds not really available? They use that to refuse my client at the UK embassy. I told her, go with only your statement. She added another statement to it, and they were like, I'm not sure. If the company is truly sponsoring you, why do you need your anti-state? Just take some of these things. You can even, it's a thought process, and it's good you are sharing so that people can, you might not be the only person who is wise. We all share ideas. You might know something that would take me 100 years to know. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Let's move on to Xavier. Again, Somia is trying to join. Mr. Hillary, we call him Somia. So if you hear me saying Somia, that's him. He's trying to join. All right.
Hi. Hi.
Hello, sir.
It's Xavier here.
Hey, Xavier.
I wanted to find out if I wanted to know if you'll be conducting interviews for those going for interview this week.
Oh, you're talking about the webinar we did last week?
No, like, will there be mock interviews for those going for interview this week?
Okay, I need to check my schedule. I know I did it for a lot of those people who went last week.
Yeah.
Is that what you? Oh, you
Yeah.
saw the post. Okay. Yeah, so I did it for some. When are you going for your interview?
22nd July, Thursday.
Oh, Thursdays. Okay, send me a text and send me a text, send me the school time that you are going. Let me see the time and let me see how best I can be of help.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Selassie.
Good evening.
Good evening. No,
Yeah,
good
please, I would like,
here.
Okay, no problem. I would like to ask a question. I got a scholarship and the orientation is due. That is in August, but the visa is next year. What would I do about it?
Okay, so that's what I said. There are two things you can do.
Right.
If you have gotten an interview date that starts before, let the university know that this is the situation on the ground. Ask,
Okay.
request for a letter of support from the university after the orientation so you can take to the visa interview and let them know that you've missed this, but you have it when they say, oh, you missed your orientation, you can show them a letter of support from the university that you join online. Okay, because some of the
Okay.
university might stream online, you join online, and as such, because of COVID right now, they are not trying, they are trying to limit the amount of people
Right.
that are going to be in a classroom. So you stream, you join online, and so you join from the orientation online, and then you are joining the you still be going to pursue your education on campus. So you have those documents to also be as a proof.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Hillary, are you here? Hillary?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Someone has a question for you. Okay, so the question is, the person wants to know if you're with the MBA, did you take the GMAT or the GRE test? And if yes, how did you prepare for it? If no, were you offered scholarship?
All right, thank you for the question. Let me apologize for I was experiencing some power connection, internet connection, and that's how come I just left off from the meeting. But thankfully I'm back. But for me, I think my situation was a bit different. I didn't take any GRE or GMAT or whatever because I had a very strong GPA. So like from Ghana, when I applied for the first graduate program in North Carolina, I just got admission straight. And so after our school, after the first master's, then I applied for the MBA program in Texas Tech. That was even, in Texas Tech, they have this general MBA. Then they have this STEM MBA. I applied for the STEM MBA. For the STEM MBA, it's just for 1 year. You can do it for just 1 year. If you can afford to, take up more courses for a semester, say 12 credits. In fact, well, I don't know, probably it's my due to the fact that I have this great background. I'm not more into, initially I was not more into this, business where like I could take some of the accounting classes, finance classes. So right from the undergrad in Ghana, that is general agriculture that I did in the bachelor degree. When I came to the States for the first agribusiness program, the agribusiness is purely skewed in agriculture economics, more of the economics, the microeconomics, and then more of the other related agribusiness related courses. So I was not so much deep into the business area. That's how come I thought it wise to, apply for the MBA so that like I have well versed in the business area. And so after graduation from the first master's in North Carolina, when I applied in Texas Tech, I just got admission straight because, at the time I had my master's and I was applying for a second master's. And with that too, my GPA was very high. I was 3.8 for the first master's. So like, I easily got it. And they also, before, with the Texas Tech too, let me, I don't know if, so for those of the viewers who have applied for school programs in Texas Tech, let me give you a brief about how the system also work. In Texas Tech, they look out for, now they are giving much attention to African students, especially Ghanaians. This is due to the fact that our Ghanaian folks who have been here, they have made a huge mark of themselves in some of the faculties. And so now Ghanaian students have come into the limelight. Now they are giving very much attention to Ghanaian students from Ghana who have very good academic standard. Once you have a good strong GPA, when you apply, you get it straight. A lot of Ghanaians they are getting admission into Texas Tech, especially to the financial planning department, that is Department of Faculty of Human Sciences, then also the MBA, because now they've come to realize that the Ghanaian students are very good students. especially like those who apply for PhD programs. So when I applied for this, after my first master's in agribusiness, I applied for the MBA, the STEM MBA in Texas Tech. I just got it. But for them, in order to get the graduate scholarship over here is where it's like, it's not like in Ghana when you are given a scholarship, all your tuition, everything will be taken care of by the agency that wants to offer you the scholarship. Over here, it's not like that. Over here, when they talk of scholarship, as far as I know, in Texas Tech, in fact, it was different in North Carolina. I'll brief you about North Carolina's system, but let me finish with the system in Texas Tech regarding, scholarships and other, rewards that they offer to, good students. For them, their scholarship is they can make noise about scholarship, but for all they can just give you $1,000. And that $1,000 will be nothing to write home about, especially when you are paying a fees of about $6,000. I mean, though it can offset a little bit, but a large chunk of it, you have to, find means of paying for the rest of the money. So here, what they do is, their scholarship is like a package. The whole package is that they will, once you are offered a scholarship, if you are out of state, you are coming from a different state. And for example, with the case of the Ghanaians or even the Nigerians or Africans and international students, they are coming out of state because they are coming from their home country to the school. So like they are regarded as out of state students. So if you are out of state, you are made to pay the full fees, which is around sometimes for a semester around 12,000. But if you are given scholarship based upon your academic standing, then you'll be made to pay half of the out-of-state fees. So that if it's say 12,000 for out-of-state, and you are granted a scholarship by virtue of the fact that you have a very strong academic standing, then they will slash the 12,000 to 6,000. Then the school will add a scholarship, $1,000 scholarship on top of the 6,000 to reduce the 6,000 to 5,000 for you. Then the rest will be the tuition fee. If you look at the breakdown, the tuition fee, sports fee, library, there are so many breakdowns, even including school health insurance. But you have your own health insurance. The health insurance is normally around 1,200. So if you have your own health insurance and you want them to waive off the school health insurance, if you succeed to convince them for them to waive off the health insurance, then your tuition will be reduced to around sometimes 4,000 or even less for the semester. So like with that, if you come in and you are able to get assistantship from any of the departments, from any of the professors, then the stipends that you'll be earning over the semester period, you can use that to draw a payment plan to be paying for the rest of the school fees that will be left for you to pay off before the end of the semester. So that one you can draw a payment plan for about, you can stretch for about maximum about four months. Then you do the payment. Or if you want it to be 3 months, they have two options, either 3 months or 4 months. Then you stretch it, then you pay. Or if you have like relatives or friends here who are permanent residents and they also have good credit score, they can guarantee your loan for you if you apply for loan. You can apply for student loan. I, for one, when I came here in Texas Tech to start the MBA, though I got a scholarship, my fees was slashed to pay. I was made to pay an in-state tuition. That is half of the fee that will be paid by, that is supposed to be paid by an out-of-state student. At the time, it was 12,000. So like, if you are paying in-state, you made to pay 6,000, half of the 12,000. Then they will add $1,000 every semester. They will add $1,000 on top of the 6,000 to reduce the 6,000 to 5,000 for you. Even you have your own health insurance, then they will waive off the school health insurance. Then that can even reduce it to sometimes around 3,700 for the semester for you. Because every semester, if you're able to maintain your good academic standing, that is 3.0 or there, you continue to be enjoying those benefits. But you still have to pay tuition payment for every semester, $1,000 for every on top of the 6,000 to reduce it for you every semester. If you're able to waive off your health insurance, that also slash it down to around 3,800 for every semester. Then if you are still on assistantship, then you can always be drawing a payment plan every semester. You spread it over the number of months within the semester. So that's how camp works. So to all the economic challenges, the financial challenges, and all that to pay off, the whole program. So that's how it is. But in Telestech, the assistantship is not, it's not always guaranteed for students. But in order to be eligible for such, I see it to be like a privilege, because not all students are able to get it. Though you can have a good standing academic, you can have a high GPA at a grade level, you might not get it. So like, but you have to get a good GPA, or you have to be in a good academic standing before, that can make you eligible for any such offer assistantship position. Because sometimes assistantship position can be posted for students to apply. And then, these are some of the criteria. You have to be in a very good standing, at least 3 points or better, before you can apply, and then you go for interview and all of that. So like, most times, not all students get it. But unlike North Carolina, where I came from, once, assistantship was, it was almost every graduate student was getting assistantship, unless like you are not interested, because there are a lot of Ghanaian professors over there, and a lot of also Nigerian professors over there. So like, that was the way that they were doing to help out the students, because they know they also live through the same experience when they also got the opportunity to come and pursue their degree programs here, graduate programs here. So like, they also, that's the way they also find to they adopt to help out students, international students. They offer them assistantship. But in North Carolina, they used to have this tuition remission. And it's also contingent upon your academic standing. You should have a good academic standing, 3.0 or better. Then once you are on assistantship, that is, you are a graduate student, you can be in research or graduate assistant. That one, they give a flat amount of 6,230 to offset part of your fees. Then the rest of it, you can draw a payment plan, and then you can pay off by installment throughout the semester with your some part of your stipend that will be earning from your assistantship. So that was how we're managing the payment of our fees and all of that. So like, by the time I even graduated from the first masters, I did not have any student loan, because I was able to pay all my fees every semester. I could even get some to support myself, to pay for my rent, feeding, and all of that. But when I came over to Texas Tech, and one thing is, at a business school, if you apply for business programs like MBAs, for the business school, they do a lot of coursework, not research work. They don't do much of the research. Unlike if you apply for like a program like agriculture, engineering, those areas, you can easily get assistantship because they are more into research. But for those other programs that they are not into research, you can hardly get assistantship, because it's through the research that they do for the companies that they get enough funds. Because the arrangement is such that if the school, like if the professor from the department, from a faculty, department faculty wants to get a research program from a company, they have some amount that they give. The school will charge a percentage. That amount will go into the school professor. Then another portion of the amount will go to the professor and the students that the professor is going to engage to be doing the research, of which they will use some to be giving them stipends and even some to pay their fees. Then another part of the amount will be earmarked for the research, because you have to be attending workshops, you have to be doing so many things which involves money. So they devote money for such things. So when a professor gets a research or a grant, for that matter, a research from a company, then he's able to, with the funds, you can discuss with them for them to earmark amount of money that will be used to spend the students that will be, engaging in the research. So that way you can get money for your stipends every month, even to the extent of some. The professor can even get it, if he has enough money, can get some to pay for your fees, pay part of your fees, and then the rest of it you can use it to grow your paper. Or if even they have so much money, they can pay off the whole of your semester's fee for you, so that you can still have your full stipends for yourself. It depends. So for the business school, so those of you who will be applying for the MBAs and all of that, you have to, in the first place, you have to get a good economic standard. And for sales tech, they will require you to write the GMAT or the GRE with a very good grade. Yeah, I escaped that because the time I applied, I already had my master's in agribusiness with a very strong GPA. So like with that, we're looking at my undergrad too. So there was no way they could ask me up any GMAT. So I just went in straight. So my case was different. But are you coming from a home country? It should be, it's a requirement. That's where your GMAT or the GRA, and then that's it. And then also your language proficiency. You should get it from your school, the letter. Yeah, you should get a language proficiency. If like, but in some cases, like some schools like Kansas, they require TOEFL. Even if you have your language proficiency letter from school, they will still require you to write TOEFL. Yeah, there are some of the schools, the high schools, that when you get admission there, they require you to write TOEFL and all of that. There are some programs too that you have to write GRE, like the engineering, of course. I think the engineering students also be applying for engineering programs. You have to write GRE, the very strong grade. Yeah, that's a requirement. But for some areas like agri, they don't necessarily require it if your GPA is good. You only sometimes require your language proficiency letter from your school. And that's it. Yeah. So if your GPA is very good, you don't have a problem. I mean, you stand a better chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some of you have been asking us to guide you in terms of getting assistantship ABCD. We've put our number in the chat box. We are doing our job. So if you want to use our services, please reach out to us. Again, Mr. Theophilus Amankwa will be currently in Accra. If you're in Accra, you want to visit our office, please message him. I'll put a number in the chat box. If you reach out to the Ghana number, you get to him. If you reach out to the US number, you get to me. Again, he's gonna be in Accra. Please, 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 please. If you're in Accra, you want to meet up with him, reach out to him ASAP, and then he will be meeting up with you. Secondly, if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, this is a very good opportunity for you to do. As we said, right now, a lot of European countries and countries around the world are easing the restriction, travel restrictions. So we, top tier study abroad crew, we'll be visiting international students. Some of you who have followed us for a long time. Like we went to Liberty University, we went to Texas State University, interacted with faculties and students and deans. We will be doing that more. We'll be going directly to the universities, and then you have the chance to learn. Sometimes it will be a panel. It will be like 10 Ghanaian students, 5 maybe Nigerian students, African students. Let me just put it in a nutshell. African students who will share the experiences, how to get scholarships, how to get funding, what kind of research they're doing, some of the challenges that they are encountering. And you will learn from that. We are not going to always talk about the US. We talk about the UK, we go to Spain, we go to Germany, we go to France, we go to Australia and meet up with students. And then you would also get to learn from them. Even if it's South Africa, we will go. Again, those of you who have followed us for a while now, Mr. Amankwa Theophilus was in the UAE recently, met with some Ghanaians over there, and then we talked about studying in the UAE. So it's something that we try to spread across. Whether you are interested in a bachelor's degree, you are interested in high school abroad, pursuing high school abroad, interested in pursuing a master's degree, a PhD, associate degree, a community college, just a regular 6 months course in Spain, or just a 1-year program in Spain. We are here to help. So those of you who are interested in Europe, there is a good opportunity in Spain, 1 year MBA program, 1 year computer science program, undergraduate program. Those of you who like to do, I think, wedding planning, there's a 6 months course in the in Spain. You pay, you have an affidavit, blah blah blah, to show you how to go about the process, and the visa is just straightforward with that. So if you're also interested in studying in the US, a lot of you are going for the visa interview this week. Please be prepared, be bold, be confident. Okay, so let's move on to another question for our brother here, Mr. Hillary. So, Mr. Hillary, someone wants to know about working on campus. Did you have the opportunity to work whilst you were going to school?
Sure. I think, but in Texas Tech, I couldn't get the opportunity. But in North Carolina, I can share my experience with you. You know, like I earlier indicated, before I got admission, you know, my first admission, my first school was North Carolina A&T for the agribusiness. And so, like, as I indicated earlier, that, you know, the African students over there, they have set up they have an African platform over there.
Manchester United will announce the signing of Jadon Sancho once they have finalized
Ghana, and so, like, before you even as soon as you get a visa and you're about preparing to come over, you can just reach out to them on the platform. Sometimes even some of the professors, once you get in touch with them, they can even, you know, like, from the attention of those members on the platform for them to reach out to you. And even the schools and international students office, they've also taken upon themselves. They have a platform that they reach out to the international students coming from Africa who are, you know, in dire need of, you know, assistance. So, like, once you reach out to them, and you ask of your country of origin. They will ask you of your country of origin. And if you are, for instance, you say you are from Ghana, then there's a Ghanaian platform. They will just, you know, prompt the attention of the Ghanaians on the platform. Then they'll reach out to you. Then they will start to, you know, discuss with you regarding your accommodation and even your flight schedule, so that, like, once you get to the airport, they will come and pick you and, you know, arrange for accommodation for you and all of that. Then if you are fortunate to get even students, even some of the, in North Carolina, as far as I know, but the Ghanaian professors were very, very nice. Even their hospitality attitude was not only with Ghanaians. It was also extended to all Africans, including Nigerians and all other Africans. They were helping them out. So, like, once you come in, and even if you are not in their department, they try to, you know, get you an assistantship offer so that you can also work with them and earn something to support. Because they know how it feels when you get into the system and you don't work. And, you know, given the fact that international students with F1 visa, you are not allowed to work outside. You know, the social security that will be issued out to, you know, limit you to work on campus. And so they you know, knowing that, they find means to help students out in, you know, engaging them, or like getting them a assistantship for them to use to earn a living. Then I remember also during the summer, you know, at the graduate level in North Carolina, even in Texas Tech here, well, Texas Tech, some students choose to do, it's optional. I choose to take some classes in summer. But when I was in North Carolina during my graduate program, summer was the time that we used to do full-time work to save all the monies for the summer, during the summer, for the next semester's fees. So, like, during the summer, as soon as we enter into the commencement, that is the middle of May, that is the spring after graduation, then we sign contract with our professor for a full-time summer engagement, assistantship work, doing research from May 15th up to August 15th. At least you have 3 months full-time. We're doing 40 hours. So, like, that was where we're making our monies, save monies for the next semester's, you know, expenses. And so, like, then also, like, this tuition remission that they used to have for the students. Once you are granted the tuition remission, that is amount of 6,230 flat. That will offset part of your payment. But over there, the fees was a bit on the high side. So it's around sometimes around 11,000, 12,000. So, like, when you are giving the 6,230 to offset the 11,000, or sometimes 10,000 to be left around 4,000, then you can use the 4,000, your stipends, to do a payment plan to pay off the remaining 4,000 before the end of the semester. So that's how we're, managing to pay our fees and all of that. But in Texas Tech, it was a different ballgame. Texas Tech, like I said, getting assistantship it's a privilege because not all students, you might have all the best of GPAs or be in the best of academic standing. You might apply for the assistantship. You might not get it. You might not get it. I remember when I came here and started the program, the first 2 months, I was trying to, because I was a black guy and it's a white school. And so with this at the time to, when I got there, some of the professors, they would not even look at your face because you are a black guy. And they were just giving the favors to their colleague white students. I remember the business class, I think we were about just 4 black students among the whole white. The class was we were about 25. It was 20, about 20, yeah. We were the only 4 blacks. I remember 2 ladies were from Ivory Coast, 2 ladies. One was from Senegal and I was from Ghana. All the rest were white guys. And these guys were getting assistantships. And at the time, we were also struggling to get, when they post some of those vacancies and you apply for, you do all the follow-ups, you will not get it. So for 2 months, I was not getting any job. I spent all the monies on my credit card, all the monies on me. So I had to just, forcibly step outside to look out for work. Then one night, I just went out to this restaurant, Panda Express. It was just close by the school. And fortunately, the manager there was a student from Texas Tech. He was an undergrad. He was in this mechanical engineering department. So when I went there and he asked of my ID and I showed my driver's license and my school ID, and he realized I'm a student from Tech. Then even all the conversations at the interview turned out to be conversations about our school, my program. He was also even interested in my MBA and was even planning to come and pursue the MBA. Immediately he graduated from the mechanical engineering. So from there, then I got he employed me. So I was working there. Though, I violated the U.S.A because I'm an international student, you're not supposed to work outside. But out of frustration and desperation, I just went out to get a job and I was doing it. So I did it for about a couple of months. Then, with the Panda Express, they check on this employment verification with the U.S.A. So after I submitted my documents, they also forwarded it to the U.S.A people. And, looking at, they have my information that I was supposed to work on campus at the time. So they just prompted the attention of the job management to just, dismiss it from the job. And I was dismissed. Then I came back to square one, not having any money to support myself. And that was a hell. It was a hell of time for me. Then I was so stubborn. I tried another place again, a night job, because I need to survive. And I got it. And I was, unfortunately, for that kind of job, they were not doing this employment verification with the U.S.A. So like once you show your social security and your driver's license, then you are good to go. So that was where I was working until the COVID pandemic struck, and then we all made to, the lockdown came and we had to stay at home, and that was it. It wasn't easy. So I think the most important thing is for you to be eligible for any opportunity regarding assistance and all of that, scholarship and all of that, is to get a very strong academic standing, or to get a strong GPA, especially as you are coming from your home countries. You should come with a very strong GPA. With that, it opens up so many opportunities for you. And as soon as you come into, you should do well to maintain your good standing, your good academic standing. Because as soon as you slip from the 3.0, you're not getting any assistance. Even graduates, you can't slip from 3.0. 3.0, if you slip below that, you'll be given you'll be put on probation for 2 semesters. So the next semester, if you don't push up to get to the 3.0 or beyond, they will dismiss you. So if you are applying for any graduate program, you should be prepared to be working hard to be always, be in a good standard. At least you don't have to slip below the 3.0. And for the business classes too, the business courses, if you are a business student and you have the business background, you don't have a uniform. But if you don't have the business background, just like I didn't have the business background, before I applied for the MBA, I didn't have a strong background in the business. I was more into agriculture economics. But I was able to sail through. It wasn't easy. Especially some classes like finance, and they are very, very challenging, very, very difficult. But we have to map up some strategies. We have to form steady group. Some of the good students, the white people, they are very good at business. I'm telling you, they are very, very good at business courses regarding the accounting, the way they understand the concepts. It just beats my imagination. They are very, very good. But sometimes, because you are a black guy, sometimes they find it difficult to accept you initially. Sometimes, so like if they see you to decline to be, reaching out to them, they will try to fizzle out. But when you try to compare yourself and you start doing some group project works with them, and they begin to know you better, then they begin to open up to you. That's how they are. They are very good at business class. I'm telling you, with the business courses, the white people are very good. They have business minds. They have good business minds. Yeah. And I remember Sales Tech, like I said, their system of learning is different from North Carolina, which is a black school. Yeah, learning system is different. For them, they work at a very limited time duration. So that's how they have been trained through, from undergrad. So like they are used to it. I remember there were some of the classes that we used to have. Professor used to give us the quizzes. The professor wouldn't mind giving you about 60 questions, multiple choice questions, for 15 minutes. 60 questions for 15 minutes. So that even if you divide, for every question, you have to use about how much? Less than 1 minute, right? If you divide 60 by 15.
And by then a year.
You have to do less than 1 minute. And some of the questions are also very lengthy. With similar the answers to some of them, you are very similar. You have to think through before you can get the right answers. If you are not able to think through, you get everything wrong. And the more you spend time on a question thinking through the answers, the more time will also be run against you. Just imagine. And yet, because these students, they have been trained right from undergrad, they are used to the system and know how to go about it, they will still finish before time. I remember we were taking one accounting exams class that we were taking 2 hours. Within 1 hour, most of the students, I remember the first time, most of them have finished their questions, all the questions, handed over their papers to the professors. Then I was the only person left in the room. Damn! At the time, within 2 hours, they have been able to finish within 1 hour. And in our 1 hour, of which we had 1 hour left for me to finish, I was the only person left in the room. Damn! Then I was saying to myself, is it that I'm not doing well or what? I mean, some people were able to finish within 1 hour, and I was the only person left. At the time, too, the questions were about 10 questions, but they were so detailed, sub questions. I was halfway through the whole thing, and they had all finished, and I was the only person left. So the professor at the point was trying to engage me in a conversation, trying to know much about me, because he was even surprised at how come that the whole class, everybody had been able to finish within 1 hour, though there's still 1 hour left. And this guy is so like he was trying to know much about me. Where are you from? Like all of those at the time I was writing the exam. That is how it is. But with time, I was able to, acclimatize myself to the system. I was able to also, sometimes I could finish, though I couldn't finish as early as they could, but I was also able to finish on time. That's how it is. They do everything, at a very high speed. Sometimes they compete among themselves as to who should finish first, who should finish last, and all of that. And you know what? Upon all this rush, they'll end up getting the B's and all of that. And we spend all the time to run through the whole duration, we'll be getting the good grades. So sometimes you don't have to allow yourself to be carried out by some of those rush work. No, take your time and do your work. Take your time. For those of you who find themselves in predominantly white institutions, these are some of the things that will be experienced. it will take time for you to adjust to the system because they do things, the white people, they do things fast. They want things to be done fast. In exam, everything fast. That's how they are. They know the computer too well. They know the computer. So you should prefer to be well versed in the computer, and all of that. You should be fine. You'll be fine. Just keep your cool. You should be fine.
Okay. Yeah, so guys, I think we've hit the time. We've gone over 30 minutes because we're waiting for Mr. Hillary to join us. He's gonna come back again to share more about his experiences very soon. I'll meet with him to learn more about his availabilities, and then we can bring him on board. I know a lot of you are nodding your head, especially Victor Kwesi was really enjoying the conversation, smiling and laughing when he talked about, sitting there after everybody has left the exams hall and all that. So, yeah, and Justina too was also laughing, seeing all those people enjoying the conversation. And I think an advice that I'll have for all of you is that it is very important. It's not a bad idea seeking education abroad. It's a very important step to know how things are done from a different perspective. Diversity is very important. As you know, right now you step out of your room, you get to, let's say, Koforidia, you see Chinese. I was in the northern region. I met people from Europe, Asia, and North America. I've met people from, I've been in Ghana where I've met people from the Arabian world. I've met people from all over. Diversity is becoming a central part of who we are as human beings. And as such, it is imperative to learn or study at a country where it's like a melting pot. And the US or Europe, it's like a melting pot. That when you come back to Ghana with a degree from any of the Western world, you've had the experience to work with people from diverse cultures. That will make it really easy for you to either set up your own business or work in a multinational company, either in Ghana, or if you have the opportunity to do an H-1B, or if you have the opportunity to get a green card in the US, maybe play the lottery or whatever way. It is very important that you learn how things are done differently. And that is where Top Tier Study Abroad comes in here. And we'll be partnering with Mr. Hillary to give you different perspectives of studying abroad, different perspectives of studying in an HBCU, a predominantly white institution with a PWI, so that you understand how the process is. A lot of you have questions for getting ready for the interview. Reach out to us. Again, please, if you are in Accra, if you are working with us or not working with us, if you have questions that you want answered, Mr. Theophilus is going to be in our Accra office and he'll be giving you the details as to where the Accra office is at. If you are in Kumasi too, he will give you the details and then you can also visit our Kumasi office. A lot of you are asking us if you have offices in Sunyani and Tamale. Mr. Theophilus again was in Tamale to see how things are going. We'll be visiting Accra, Sunyani very soon to see how things are going. We just want all of you to have access to quality information in terms of studying abroad. It is imperative to always learn from people who have already gone through the journey, experience it, so that they can give you all the necessary information. And I highly, highly encourage all of you to be steadfast, to push towards your dreams. If dreams without action will forever remain dreams. If you are dreaming of going to the US to study, you always watch it on your phones. If you do not take that action, where would you find yourself? Europe, US, or the North America provide quality education in terms of research, hands-on activities, the practical aspect. These are some of the things that have really helped me here in the US. Not only that, working hard. Americans, people would think, oh, yeah. They work really hard here.
So it's not easy. You have to work hard.
Yesterday, I was at my part-time job and I met with people who are also like holding big position with the fire department, or Ghana, we call the fire service, the ambulance services, police officers, and we are all doing part-time shifts at 1 a.m. We were all doing part-time. We've all left our teaching jobs. They've left their jobs to work. I got home at 3 a.m. yesterday because I was so tired. I forgot where I parked my car. I have to walk looking for my car for an hour at the car park. There are several opportunities here that you can get hold of. And I want each and every one to be very confident when you go for the interview. I wish you guys all the best. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Top Tier is always there for you. Top Tier is here to serve and serve you better. All that we want is reach out to us, and then we will see how best we can be of help. But before we go, I would like Mr. Hillary to give us his last words to encourage other students who are nursing or having a dream or yearning to study abroad.
Okay.
You know, and then he will also, Mr. Theophilus Amankwa will also come in. But my final words, my last but one words is reach out to Top Tier Study Abroad. We are here for you. We are going to bring you more interesting seminars, webinars coming up. Okay. And we'll be holding an EduFest also very soon that we're trying to put the dates together. We're bringing universities from abroad, Pacific Lutheran University, Liberty University, and other universities that we're trying to bring to Ghana so that you can talk to them directly. Theophilo, what's the name of the Canadian university that will be coming to Ghana with us?
University of Windsor.
Yes, University of Windsor, Canada.
Windsor.
It's also willing to come to Ghana to recruit international students directly from Top Tier Study Abroad. We are working behind the scenes for you. Okay, so Mr. Hilary Poku, please give us your final words and then move on to Mr. Theophilus.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Let me just my word to those who will be going for interview like sooner. Like I told you, you have to read a lot about the program that you are coming to do over here, for which you have been given the admission, offered the admission. Read a lot about it. They will ask you questions on that to get your in-depth knowledge. You should also have something to talk about in terms of your economic ties. I'm talking of the graduate students. For the undergrads, I don't think they will ask any question about their economic ties because they know they are always under scholarship. But with the graduate students, the program that you're about, even the undergrads, the program that you have been, for which you have been admitted to come and pursue over here, you should read a lot about it. Then you should also be able to tell them about your plans after completion of the program, what you plan to do with the program, and how you can use the program, the knowledge that you have and skills that you have acquired from the program to come and help the economy of your home country. You should also think about that. They will ask you questions on that. I was asked the same questions, and I just want to share with you. Then also your economic type. Make sure you get sometimes with the financial statement, they don't sometimes, like for my kid, they never even check my financial statement because sometimes, you know what, when they see you see, there are certain things that when they see in your document, like your transcripts, if you have GRA, which is of a very strong grades, I mean, the moment they come across that, then it's like they kind of already made up their mind to give you the visa. Your strong good transcript, strong GRA, and financial statement, yeah, those things. Your I-20 with the program, if you're able to, talk about your program for them to get a sense that you know all about the program and what you intend to do with the program upon completion to come and help your home country. Sometimes you have to think be creative. Think of some positive things that you think you can bring to bear when you come to your home country in terms of helping to in your own small way of contributing to the development of the economy of your country. I mean, talk along those lines. If you're able to hit them with that, I'm telling you, they'll get it for you. They'll give it to you. They will never hesitate to give it to you. And like as Mr. Dr. Boachi said, we'll be having time. Sometimes, my workplace, I've just got my new job and I'm going to start tomorrow. And it's very, very demanding. But I'll see if I get any off days on Saturday. I'll discuss with him. Tomorrow when I go and I check the schedules and I'll be free on Sunday, then we have a meeting. I'll definitely join you and then you share our experiences and offer any assistance in terms of the ways that you can use to get assistantship and all of that from some of the professors from the schools that you want to apply for programs and all of that. How you can go about convince them to get it. But the bottom line is you should get if you have a very strong, every professor wants a good student. every professor is interested in a good student, because that's why those professors who are into research, they want good students to work with. So when the moment they see your GPA to be very strong, then you cut their attention. That's it. Even at the consul office, at the embassy, when they see a strong GPA, a good GRA, good financial statement, and the program they ask you about the program, and you are able to, prove to them that all about the program and what you intend to do. That alone speaks volume for you. It speaks volume for you. So please try and work on those things. Make sure all the documents that you are provided, you are able to. They will ask you questions on the documents that you have provided for the interview. But don't forget the program that you have applied for which you have been offered admission. Know all about it, what you plan to do with the program, your economic ties, your family ties. The economic ties, you should be able to have something to talk about. That either you have a private business that you are running, or you have like a building project that you are doing. So private business, talk about your earnings, either your monthly income or your annual. At least you have to be creative. I don't know, some of them who are so detailed, they might ask for some documents to show proof of that private business or something. Some people might also just listen and they will just believe whatever it is. It depends on the kind of the caliber of person that will grant you the interview. But in any case, at least prepare for some of those things so that when they ask, they'll definitely ask. You should be in a position to at least, give them a good account of yourself in terms of those things for them to trust you. If you're able to do that, you definitely get it. So like, we hope to meet you next week if time will allow us. Then we'll throw more light on some of the things that you need to know. We'll be very methodical, step by step, from the time of going for interview, after you get the interview, how you have to connect to the school, the students in the school, the African platform, the African students, how best they can help you, arrange for accommodation for you, arrange to connect with some of the professors to offer you assistantship as you get in there. We'll talk about all of that. You don't have to be step by step. But for now, those who are going for interview, this is all what I have for you. Just work on all of those things that I've talked about. And I wish you good luck. It will be well. You should be fine. Make sure when you get there, be yourself. Don't be nervous. Relax. Let them see that you are confident. Let them, try to, it's a mind game. Let them know, like if you even let them show, let your body language even tell them that even if you don't get a visa, that's not going to be the end of your life. You have other things doing back home. So like you just want to, go and school and come back. Just portray yourself as if like you don't necessarily need it, but just for the school's sake. That's how they want it. But when they see that you are showing so much desperation, if you don't even get it, that's the end of your life. Then they get a sense that when you go, you never come back. You don't have to, portray that to them. Just be yourself. Let them know that, you also feel proud in your country. You are good in your home country. Just that you've gotten that education opportunity and just want to go and acquire some knowledge and then come back to, to help improve the economy of your country. It's not like you just want to go and stay there. Just, let the body language speak something like that to them. That way they will just, okay, this guy, when he goes, he will come. Then they give it to you. Don't just go into, I think you are going to plead for, make yourself look so miserable so that they consider. If you do that, they will deny you. Don't panic. Don't panic. America is just like anywhere. Yes, they are advanced. But you don't panic. Just prepare, go prepare, and you'll be fine. Okay. We'll talk next week when I have so many. If I'm off, if I'll be off next week Sunday, and I'll join you, and then we'll share more experiences and more advices to help you. Like I said, it's going to be one after the other. So now it's for those who are going for the interview. After they get the interview, then we also talk about something else regarding how you can connect to people over here, in terms of arrangements for accommodation and all of that. So this is what I have for you for now. So take this for now. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. God bless you, Mr. Hilary Poku. We truly appreciate this beautiful information being shared to students who are getting ready, lacing their boots for the interview. It's not a war. It's a conversation. So Mr. Theophilus, please give us the location, what time you're going to be in the office, what time they can come in, your number, and how they can reach out to Top Tier Study Abroad Consult.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Bache. I think you can find our numbers in the chat box. Time wouldn't allow us to answer so many questions today, so just call us. And then you will answer all your questions, any question bothering your mind. Rollins Circle, opposite Medina Polyclinic. There's a big building there. Written at the top is CC Hagan Plaza. When you come there, you meet me, you meet Cornelius, you meet Genevieve, and then you have a wonderful conversation. If you're in Kumasi too, we can go to Amakom Traffic Lights. Yaira is there, Kofi is there. They are ready to talk to you. So you can also reach us on our social media platforms, YouTube, everywhere, LinkedIn. Just connect with us and let's have a wonderful time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, let me take the opportunity to show them my school. You know, I was having some internet problems, so I drove all the way from my home to my school. I'm in school now. I'm currently in school. Let me show them my school. Let me show them around my school.
All right, why not? Please.
Look at how Texas Tech looks. This is a students union building where students come in to take their lunches, have fun, and all of that. Let me show you. It's a very nice school. You see?
Oh, nice. Oh, Mr. Hillary, your video is off, please. We want to see.
My video off? Oh, sorry.
The video is off.
Yes.
It's opening, but yes, we can see it now. Yes.
Let me show you around. So this is the school. It's a 3-story. This is the ground floor. I don't know if I have to take you around to.
Wow.
It's a huge stretch of.
It's huge. It's beautiful too.
Yeah, there's the other. You see those curtains. Behind the curtains, there's also another stretch of auditorium over there with so many rooms and sitting places that students can study and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
Everything. Yeah.
That's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's a nice school. So those of you coming to Texas Tech, these are some of the facilities that you'll be coming to enjoy over there. It's a nice school. It's a nice spice school. You enjoy it. I know I'm whetting some people's appetite in Ghana or in Nigeria, wherever, but that's the reality. You can come over here, right? Yeah, you can apply for any program. They have a lot of programs over here. Financial planning, business administration, all the kinds of engineering. There are a lot of Nigerians here who are into this
petrochemical engineering or petroleum engineering.
All of that. Yeah, there are a lot of Nigerians here who are offering those programs. Yeah, so many. Should be fine.
Yeah, so
I'm around. Though I've graduated from school, but I just live close by school. So those who will be coming over to Texas Tech, I'll love to see you in person, and then we talk. My workplace is just about 20 minutes drive from here, so I'm still in town. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Someone said we appreciate you. Self-confidence is key. Someone said, Mr. Hillary, you do it all. Another comment from Ebenezer. Yeah, Mr. Hillary, do all. Ajay, thank you. Noble Charles, awesome. Awesome is also saying glass and coin. Jennifer,
Ghanaians in America. Oh God.
Mr. Poku, thank you very much for your encouraging words.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. We will help you out. We all help you out. You'll be fine. Okay.
Yeah. Fine. Someone is also saying, great motivator. You're motivating a lot of people. Alfredo said when I see when.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what? Let me add something. Just a minute. You know, all this when I was in Ghana. You know, I was after UCC. You know, I did bachelor's in agriculture, and after school, I was posted to one of the high schools. I do my senior high school. Yeah, that was in 2004. In fact, all those times, I had the ambition to pursue my masters. I had the ambition to pursue my masters, even in wherever, whether in Ghana or abroad. But in fact, Ghana was where my attention was. Then one time, that is in 2012, a friend of mine, you know, he was a college teacher also in Edumai, we're not on campus. So anytime we close from school, sometimes you can just stop by at my place and we eat. Then before I just spend most time weekends, you can just come around there. Anytime that I used to come over to me, to my place, we go to the cafe at the time. That was 2012 there. Go to the cafe, then you'll be applying for school. So I remember I'll just be sitting by him, then he'll be doing his own things, applying for schools and all of that. At the time, he had applied for a school for energy. Energy, something, energy, master's program in Germany. And then in the US, the North Carolina, where I did my first master's, that was where he had applied for school and was waiting on scholarship over there. And he was not getting it. In fact, his interest was to come over to the school here and forgot about the admission that he had already got in Germany because he wanted to be in US to do that energy and something. So it was through conversation. Then he asked me, you did agric. Why don't you apply for this? This school is also agric-based school. Then he gave me the address, the website for the school. So it was there that caught my attention. Then I developed interest in then pursuing this application process. Then I applied it. I just, I assessed their sites. I selected the school, agric-economics. There were so many, when I clicked at the department, there were so many programs. Then I selected, I selected agric-extension. So when I selected agric-extension, then I submitted everything. Then about thinking about a month or a little more than a month, then I got their response that they have accepted my application. That was 2012. But I was not ready because my finances were not good. So I was trying to give myself some time to save some money. So I deferred during the 2012 to the 2013. We had that provision for deferment. So like, if you feel like you are not financially sound at the time you get admission and you want to defer, you can defer up to 1 year. You can't do beyond 1 year. So I straight away deferred it to 2013 fall. And the 2013 fall to when my visa delayed, I also deferred it for another semester, spring 2014, before I finally, came over here to get enrolled. So it's like I've come a long way, and it's like that's why I said it's all about your determination and your ambitions. See, in fact, if you are able to get admission here to school, there are so many opportunities, but there are so many hurdles too. We'll talk about that later. I don't want to take much of the time. Once now we have established this relationship and this meeting every Sunday, no problem. We'll talk about so many things. It's step by step, so don't worry. Just stay tuned.
Very much.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, someone said, Doc, please do well to bring him back for another webinar. He's very open. Jennifer, thank you. And thank you, Mr. Hillary, for the advice. Very educative and informative. God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
And someone has sent me a Pahwada Bang. So thank you all. I think today we've gone way over the limit. We're gonna come back to you hopefully next week. So expect a flyer with a Zoom link so you can join us. We truly appreciate you.
Pray that I'll be off next week, then I can have time. If I'm on schedule next week, I might not be able to get time on Sunday.
Yeah, no problem.
But I'll get to know it
loop.
after I get to work tomorrow, and then know through the schedule through the following week. I'll get to know if like I'll be off Sunday. I'll let Dr. Bachi know, and then I can join you in the. I would love to join you, but I hope I should be available by Sunday. Yeah, I should.
Okay. All right. Thank you all for coming. Top Tier Study Abroad Consults is here to serve you all. As we already said, we have 2 offices, one in Accra, one in Kumasi, and Mr. Theophilus manages both offices. I'm managing the office here in the U.S. Top Tier Study Abroad Consult is registered here in Texas, U.S.A. Please, if you need our services, reach out to us and we provide the best of services to you. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy your Sunday, and talk to you soon. And have a beautiful day. And we're here to serve. And all of you going for the interview, wishing you all the best. Let's hear from you how it goes. Beautiful.
Thank you. See you next week Sunday. Okay.
See you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. See you.
All right, you can log off now, and the Top Tier crew, please stay on. And Mr. Hillary, I will call you in the next 30 minutes to do a debrief and also to take some advice from you. So God bless you, and we really appreciate you for helping us today and for advising these beautiful students who are eager to pursue their degrees in the US and other countries. Have a beautiful Sunday, and talk to you soon. Top Tier crew, please hold on. Just 5 minutes. I know it's really late. Victor and Annette, I know it's really late, but please, Top Tier crew, employees, please, my colleagues, let's talk, please.